Hey everybody, you're watching a physio named Jonah. That's this guy. Today we're going to be talking about HYDRAGUN's new Heatpod infrared sauna blanket. That is quite a few words, so let's talk about what it is. In this video, we'll go over my first impressions using the Heatpod, talk about the construction of it, how to get the most out of using it, and finish with my opinions on the Heatpod as a whole. If you're new around here, I am a physiotherapist working in Canada who makes YouTube videos on physiotherapy topics, and that can include product reviews in the rehab space. Kicking things off, let's throw it back to past Jonah from about 4 weeks ago, who's going to run you through my first impressions, opening up, unboxing, and using the Heatpod. Let's see what he's up to. Thank you, future Jonah, for the handoff. I just finished a workout, so I'm going to be taking a look at our new guy here post-workout because it is involved in recovery. So I figured it was only best to test it out for the first time after a workout. Okay, so thank you to HYDRAGUN once again for working with me and bringing this video to you today. Today we're taking a look at the Heatpod Sauna Blanket by HYDRAGUN. I haven't seen one. This is going to be the first that I'm seeing as I unbox it, share it with you guys, so hopefully we enjoy the process together. I don't do a lot of product reviews or different things. I've been approached by a couple different companies, but I don't want the channel to be entirely based around product reviews. I really like working with HYDRAGUN. They gave me the original HYDRAGUN, gosh, it was last summer, and it is awesome. It's turned into something that I use weekly and I'm a huge fan of, so when they reach out with something new, I'm interested in kind of working with them, but I've turned down a couple other offers because I don't want this to just be any product under the sun. I want to bring things to you guys that I'm interested in, and well, today I'm definitely very interested in what we're taking a look at. Alright, let's take a look. They do such a nice job with branding in HYDRAGUN. Turn up the heat on recovery. Alright, so as soon as I open it up, we've got a black box here, which I'm assuming is going to have components. Here's our handy dandy instruction manual, so I can continue to be a white guy aging by the year who loves his instruction manuals more and more every single year. I'm going to open this up and we'll take a look in there in a second. Here is our power cord as well as control monitor. Cool. Big fan right away because like the HYDRAGUN, that came in its own carrying case. The boxes are lovely, but you don't necessarily keep them afterwards. I love that my HYDRAGUN has a carrying case that I just like take it to and from working, and this guy's got a nice looking sort of like duffel case to it as well. Where don't I give this boy a quick look-see? Ooh. Step 1 is get dressed or undressed. You may enjoy the Heatpod undressed. Oh, I may. Not for today though. Today we're going to enjoy it dressed. It's pretty easy though. It's get prepped, lay it out, turn it on, choose the settings. There you go. Don't leave it unattended and turned on. Don't leave it in direct sunlight. Don't let your dogs and kids play with it. We'll open this guy up. Woo! Probably won't come through in the video, but there's a pretty nice weight to this thing. It's made of a vegan leather, and it feels pretty substantial, like you would imagine a piece of leather about this big to feel. There is also a towel insert that you can put inside of it. I think that's mostly to wick sweat, so you could go in undressed, if you know what I mean. But I think for today, I'm gonna rock the same things I just did my workout in. A Norway shirt, shorts. Let's get this boy laid out and get started, eh? So we got her all laid out. She's a pretty big unit. I mean, I'm interested to see how far I go in this because, spoiler alert for those walking at home, I'm not the tallest guy. I'm about like 5'6", 5'7" if I'm wearing shoes with a 1-inch heel in them. This whole thing opens up like a book, which is pretty cool. That's how you would clean it afterwards, which is what I'll be doing because I tend to sweat a fair bit, so if it has any kind of sauna, as the name implies, I will be wiping this guy down pretty significantly. I'm sure that's just what you all wanted to hear. Let's get it going. Let's try 60 to start off with. Alright, boys and girls, wish me luck. Alright. Nighty-night, folks. Should have brought a pillow down here. It's at 40 degrees Celsius right now. I'm gonna get my arms inside of this boy and just give her the old lay down. How do I look? How do I look? Stella, no. No, Stella. No, no. Out. Out. Come. Remember, not to be used by pets. I don't know if you can see it on the video, but Stella is wearing a boot on her front left paw right now because she won't stop licking at it. My feet are starting to get warm, so that's nice.
Can you see my face? I think you can. Hi!
It's nice.
60 degrees Celsius.
It feels like when I use the heat pulse, it had like a certain kind of heat to it. I'm thinking this is similar, but just bigger and turning me into a tortilla. Not turning me into a tortilla, wrapping me in a tortilla. That'll do it for the day one review here. This is as advertised. It is a sauna blanket. Started to feel very nice actually around the 70 degrees Celsius, where I really started to chill out, kind of get into the breathing a little bit. Once the sweating started, it stopped feeling like just being hot in a confined space and started to feel like a heated blanket sauna sort of situation. First impressions, I really enjoyed using this thing. I'm gonna now, over the next week or so, use it a few more times as I like prep my video, kind of get my thoughts together on it. And future Jonah will have my more elaborate, well put together thoughts. That's it for day one. Great to chat with you guys. Thank you again to HYDRAGUN. This thing is super cool. Thank you to you guys for checking out the video, and back to me. That was pretty lame. No, still go, like. Thanks past me. Let's get into my physiotherapist thoughts on the Heatpod's construction. As I mentioned in my heat pulse video, I'm a pretty big fan of the way HYDRAGUN creates their products in general. I find that nothing feels cheap or poorly constructed. It feels like it was made with intention, with some kind of thought behind it. Everything feels like it's fairly high quality, which is really nice to use. In general, I think that using their knee massager, using the actual massage gun, and now using the Heatpod, I'm a pretty big fan of what HYDRAGUN comes out with. The Heatpod specifically has some nice things going for it. One of which is the vegan leather that it is created out of. It has a heavy sort of quality feel to it, which means that when you're laying inside of the pod, it has a nice weight to it, kind of like a lighter weighted blanket. Funny statement, but it's true here. The zipper is actually pretty nice on the Heatpod. If you use a cheap zipper before, you know exactly what I mean. And because the Heatpod is kind of shaped like a sleeping bag, this is probably the nicest zipper I've ever used on a sleeping bag adjacent item. Not to wave my own flag or brag too much, but I've been in my fair share of sleeping bags. Camping flex! I think they did a really nice job with the heat distribution from head to toe. It feels like a fairly even heat all throughout the pod, which is nice for creating that overall heating effect all throughout the pod. Obviously, this does not extend to your head, which is outside of the pod, but hopefully that was obvious based on the design and the video of me using it earlier. The temperature sensors that are inside the pod are nice and responsive as well. Even if I just lifted the upper flap to maybe grab my phone and browse TikTok or something like that, the temperature was noticed on the actual controller. It would read pretty quickly the temperature was dropping and then work its way up slowly once I had closed it up back over my shoulders and laid back down in the pod. This is a good opportunity to bring up the controller of the Heatpod, which is pretty straightforward. You have a temperature control on the left and a time on the right. Easy buttons to operate, power button in the center. The only quirk about it is that it has two wires coming off of the controller, one that goes down into the base of the Heatpod, the other that connects into the wall. This can make it difficult to reach the controller at times depending on where your outlet that you're using is, but hasn't posed much of an issue for me at this point. Well, this is going to be a pretty straightforward section because using this thing is very straightforward. The Heatpod is for all intents and purposes a sleeping bag. You unzip it, lay inside of it, let the heat wash through your body, lay there for the desired amount of time, get up and leave. Okay, fine, I'll elaborate. To get started, you plug the controller into the bag and into the wall, then you set the temperature to where you want to start and the timer for however long you want the heat to go for. All the timer does is tell you when the heat will stop, so I mean you can set it for 50 minutes and just turn it off after 20 if you're done. It's more for if you don't want it to continually run once you're finished with it. At this point, you get into the Heatpod and lay flat with your arms and legs inside of the pod. HYDRAGUN does also sell a towel insert that you can place inside of the pod so you can lay in and naked. But I don't have one, so I can't really speak to the effectiveness of that. Note here, it says to only use the Heatpod on heat-resistant materials. Now, quick looking suggests that many comforters would be applied in this case, where they are heat-resistant, meaning that you could use the Heatpod on comforters, which would probably be more comfortable than using it on the floor like I've chosen to use it to date, generally laying either straight onto the floor with a pillow under my head or on our yoga mat. Honestly, I'm more likely to just continue using it on our yoga mat because I'm generally using this thing after workouts and it's in our workout space, so I'm probably not going to be taking it to a bed in another room. Although there is a bed in our workout space. Why have I been laying on the floor? So that's mostly it when it comes to usage. Again, it's pretty straightforward. Now, my recommendations for getting the most out of the Heatpod will be as follows. First up, make sure you are well hydrated before you get into the Heatpod and drink water afterwards. Whenever you're using something that is heating up pretty much your entire body and possibly inducing sweating, you're going to want to be replenishing that with water. One of my personal biases when it comes to healthcare is that I am a huge hydration stan, so make sure you drink that water, everybody. Super important. Second, start with a lower temperature and slowly increase as you are comfortable. Maybe start around 60 degrees Celsius and go up by 5 degrees at a time, which is what I did when I used it for the first time. Reasoning for this, it's just always easier to increase temperature than decrease temperature when you're trying to get away from it, so start low and rise up slowly. Third, wear comfortable clothing that you don't mind sweating in, like athletic apparel, or use the towel insert. Again, I just did a post-workout, so found that workout clothing was very comfortable to be in. Note, in the first usage, I did not wear socks. I learned after I read the manual a little bit more that you should use socks inside of the Heatpod, so put those socks on. Don't be like me. Now it's time for my final thoughts on the Heatpod in general. Overall, I really like the Heatpod. Again, I've been approached by a couple different companies through my business email about doing product collaborations, but I'm pretty hesitant to do that because I don't want this channel to become too many product reviews. I do keep choosing to work with HYDRAGUN though because I've been a huge fan of the things that they send me. I find things to be high quality and they're super nice to work with. I mean, I carry around the massage gun that they sent me like Linus carries around his blanket, so I'm a pretty big fan of the things that they make. Now, as a physiotherapist, even though I've enjoyed using the Heatpod, it's not the kind of thing that I would generally be recommending to patients. Because the heat is very diffuse, it's not really specific to any one area of the body. I don't generally prescribe people use saunas or heat therapy for the whole body in general, so this would not be any different. In general, I think this product is more targeted to the wellness and post-workout space, which is how I intend to keep using it as a post-workout recovery tool, because it's nice to go into a warm bag after a workout, similar to using a sauna at a gym post-workout. With that in mind, I think it's also important to note here that the Heatpod does not have the capacity to heat up as hot as you would a sauna. The highest temperature that it can reach is 80 degrees Celsius, and I've been in some saunas around here in Northern Ontario that people just put to scalding degrees of temperature. So I think it's less intended as a heat your body up to the point of sweating intensely like a sauna, and more of a gentle heat throughout the whole body. I generally find that it feels more like a very comforting warmth post-workout, which might induce a little bit of sweating, as opposed to being in a sauna that has a lot of steam, where I'm just dripping like a faucet. Yes, I did just say that. I don't think that keeps it from being able to deliver enough heat to get benefits throughout your body. So even though it is not as hot as a sauna would be, and I don't necessarily think of it as much as a sauna blanket as much as a thermotherapy bag, it's still, in my opinion, accomplishing what it's setting out to do. Just like previous collaborations I've done with HYDRAGUN, I've attached the link to their website down in the description below. If you follow that link to their website and use the code PhysioJonah, you will get a discount off the price of this product. From now until December 31st, 2022, users who use that link and use my code will get $75 Canadian off the purchase of the Heatpod. Important to note, as always with affiliate links, you do not have to follow that affiliate link to purchase a HYDRAGUN. You can absolutely go to the website using any other link to purchase the product. If you follow the link below, it lets HYDRAGUN know that you were referred from my video here, which means that I will receive a small commission from HYDRAGUN for letting you know about their product. Like the previous two videos, HYDRAGUN sent this product to me. I did not purchase this product. That's why there is an affiliate link below, and there is a small commission associated if you use that link. Thanks, Luna. If you've made it to this point in the video, thank you guys so much for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed this video and learned something new about the Heatpod. If you have any questions about the Heatpod or other products like this, feel free to drop them for me in the comment section below. I will do my best to answer there or refer you to somewhere where you can find that answer. But most importantly though, guys, as always, move your body, have a laugh today, and I will see you at the next video.